everyone. Welcome to IIM Community channel, and today we are going to be talking about how you can enter the field of analytics in a managerial role after your MBA if you come from a non-technical background. So let's start. Let's discuss what's in store in this video. So we will be discussing on how you can select a role which is very close to your industry and expertise, how to understand the day-to-day work in that particular role, how do you technically upskill yourself, because even if you are in a managerial role, you would still be required to know some technical aspects of analytics, and how do you gain relevant and then finally, we would be talking about how to prepare for interviews. And there would be so many roles in analytics. For example, in BI or business intelligence, visualization. Then there would be like hardcore data scientist lead kind of roles. There would be analytics roles in different industries. If you're a non-technical person trying to enter data science lead or managerial roles, then the key skill that you bring to the table is going to be your domain expertise, your business side, the day-to-day challenges that people face, and what are the different analytics use cases that we can take up in that particular industry or that particular job. Now, once you have finalized on a role, let's say you are from a pharma background, and you have finalized, let's say, okay, I want to be an analytics manager in the pharma industry, or I want to be a product manager in the pharma industry, or maybe you're from sales and you want to be in the sales planning or sales analytics kind of roles. Now you need to understand the daily working. Okay, right? So you talk to people in that industry. You should join Telegram groups or related to analytics. There are hundreds of such groups. Just search for data analytics, product management groups on Telegram. You can directly search using keywords in Telegram. Then you should follow the related posts, related posts to that particular job on LinkedIn. For example, you are interested to be a product manager. Where people write about product management a lot on LinkedIn. So you will get the feel of what is the expectation versus reality in that role. Then you should read job descriptions about people who are doing the role in the company of your choice, the role of your choice. So this will give you a brief idea about what are the important things. For example, I am into analytics management or analytics lead kind of roles. You would be given a particular project, and then as a manager, you will need to divide it into subtasks. You need to decide the timelines for each of the subtasks. You need to decide who would be responsible for which subtask. Then you should ideally put all of this in some kind of a project management tool. Let's say you can use Zoho, or there are so many other PMP tools. You can use any of them. Those project management tools themselves will show you some dashboard. How many tasks are open? How many are in progress? How many are completed? Are we in state of control or not? You will have to have like huddle meetings. So huddle meetings is nothing. It's just a meeting where we discuss the progress or health. You would be responsible for coordinating between different departments. Let's say your team is mostly going to be technical. So if they are stuck at a business definition, let's say, so you would be as a manager responsible to coordinate with the marketing team, let's say, because that project was say related to marketing. So you will have to coordinate with the marketing team and understand and liaison the two people, make sure ultimately the problem gets solved. If there is any technical issue also, you will have to solve it. So this is the typical job description of any analytics manager. And apart from the managerial skills, right, you also require a lot of tech. The thing is that I know machine learning AI, it's very very hyped, right? But actually we do not use it much. Nobody uses it that much in real life. Okay, it's just 5 to 10% of the time will go in that. Usually what will happen, you will be I'll just give you an example. So let's say there is a case that the the sales of the company are going down. So you will need to pinpoint which region. Is it because of people? Is it because of a region? Is it region specific? Is it seasonality specific? Maybe some months are always doing less sales, or is it because of the supply chain gap? So this is the kind of analytics you will have to do. So, you will be responsible to, let's say, come up with different dashboards with your team. So as a manager, you will have to decide which dashboard, which dashboard should be presented. So your team can obviously come up with the idea, but you will have to finally, take the ownership of the entire flow. So I'm just giving you some examples. So for this, you should know at least, visualization tools like Tableau, Power BI, SQL. Then you should know advanced Excel for sure. Python R is okay. If you know it, it's great. If you don't know, it's fine. There are a lot of jobs which do not require it. So this is about, a technical managerial job description, which I just told you. So it is very important to know what exactly is the work that people are doing in the job. That now, let's say, okay, I told you that you would require technical skills, but how and where should we learn those technical skills is a big question. So for SQL, you have W3 schools and tutorial point. You can just learn it, using these two places. For Tableau and Power BI, I would say Tableau, the best source is Tableau website itself. So it has free e-learning courses, and also you can be a certified Tableau analyst for free. Like you just have to register, and within 90 days you have to pass an exam, and that's all. See, as a manager, you don't need to pass any certification as such, but if you want, you can always do it. Then there is for Power BI, there is a course by Maven Analytics on Udemy, and the course is just for, I think, 700 rupees or something, and it's really cheap, and it's really worth it actually. They answer all your questions and everything, so I would really recommend either of the two. If you ask me, which tool should I learn, should it be Tableau or Power BI? If I just want to learn one of the two, then I would recommend that you learn Tableau, because Tableau is, far ahead in curve, at least as of now, than Power BI. But yeah, Power BI is also equally popular. So it's totally your choice. Okay, both are very good, and both will serve your purpose of good visualization and good PPTs and good dash. For statistics basics, because if you're entering into analytics, then statistics is the base of analytics. So one good book in statistics would be ISLR. It is Introduction to Statistical Learning, and you can easily find it in the link which is mentioned, faculty.marshall.usc.edu. So the good thing about this book is it's free of cost, and also if you quote this book anywhere, that I have learned this concept from this book, then you can easily defend yourself, because this book is like the Bible for statistics, and it's easy. There are sometimes a lot of calculations. You can ignore some of them. What would be covered in this book? ISLR, it would be like the basic concepts of statistics, like mean, median, mode, etc., probability and all, right? And also you will have a lot of content on the advanced algorithms, like XGBoost, random forest, and all the other statistical algorithms, machine learning algorithms. So I would suggest that you go through this book if you're really serious about a career in analytics. But if you want to be only in visualization, Power BI, Tableau, dashboard making, then you do not need it. If you're not into machine learning like regression, time series, if you're not into teams which deal with all this, then it's not required. But you can still go through the basic statistics, the meaning of p-value and all. If you can, then you should definitely give it a try. So for R, I would say that you should again, you can just learn about R from ISLR itself. But I would say that prefer Python over R. Reason being that Python is a language which is supported by the very big developed, libraries are very well developed. You will get a lot of support online. R was usually the language of statisticians. Now Python has completely kind of taken over it, and most of the companies require Python. So you should ideally go for Python. And if you want to learn Python, then Python for data science, EDX, it's a free course. It's a very good course. So you should go for go for it. If you want to learn the basics of statistics online, then I would just suggest that you just search for the highest rated course on Udemy on statistics. So I have found that Udemy is little better than Coursera. I think that, see, if you want very conceptual knowledge and you are a student, you have a lot of free time, you can explore a lot. Then Coursera and all are very very good. Okay, but they are not good if you want a step-by-step approach. So in Udemy, you will step approach, you will get templates and all. So I prefer it, because I was working and I did not have that much time to, explore. There is a course by Andrew NG. Andrew NG is a CS229 and CS29. And Andrew NG is, called as the father of data science, and so he is the best for for statistics also. So if you want the basics of statistics, like p-value, what is the type 1 error, type 2 error, the whatever the basic things, right? Mean, median, mode, standard deviation, variance, all of that, correlation. So basic things, very basic things about statistics. If you want to know, then yeah, Andrew NG is the right person. You can just Google him, and there will be so many videos on him, by him. So you can go through that. But ISLR is, if you can, right, then try reading that book. That has been far more useful for me than any course, because I have also gone through Andrew NG, I have also gone through other courses, and I found that this book is the best. So now, okay, fine, you have upskilled yourself, everything. Now you should gain some experience. So how do you gain experience? So you should implement whatever you have learned in analytics in your current job. For example, you have learned about visualization using Tableau, Power BI. Then you should implement the same in your current job. For example, you can make dashboards. You can make cool, graphs, visualizations using Tableau for your existing SQL, for basic data analytics in your current job. For example, if you're a sales manager, so there is no link between analytics and sales, right? But still you can use analytics. For example, in every review meeting, you are required to, let's say, show your pipeline, future growth, what are the accounts, management, which account you're getting best revenue from. So rather than, putting it all in, even in Excel, you can create dashboards. Okay. You can also use Tableau, Power BI, Spotfire, etc. for creating cool dashboards or graphs, to show in your review presentations, so that people know that, yeah, you are a very analytics driven person. Because see, if you see the salaries of only data analysts, right, then they will not be very high. Okay, you will find data analysts for a salary as low as 3 lakh also. So I'm not sure if, data analytics as such alone will not get you a very high paying job. So if you should always use your existing core skill and supplement it with some kind of analytics. So if you do that, then wow, you are good to go. Then the next would be, you should work with startups. Even if you have to work for free, it's fine. For example, if you can get your hands on some kind of a freelance assignment or consulting type of work, where you help them with their data analytics, then try to do that. If you can't get that, then I would say you should also try, see, you can download some data sets from Kaggle and all. And they also have solved Tableau worksheets and everything. So you can also try for an internal transfer in your team. So just like I said, first you implement in your current role and you show that you have those skills already, and then you try for an internal transfer. Because see, if you are already a manager, then from a leadership role to another leadership role, it's very easy. Okay, because ultimately in a leadership role, you are only required to mostly manage people. So try for that route if you want. Let's say you're not going for an internal transfer, but you want to apply to a different company in a technical manager kind of role, or maybe a project management role, or whatever, anything related to some kind of maybe a corporate strategy role which requires a lot of analytics, etc. So see, this is the format that I have written is based on my experience so far, but it's not the only format, obviously. So there can be different formats for different companies, but I will tell you. So you should first read questions on Glassdoor. like interview questions. What are the interview questions asked in that company? So let's say usually, you don't take it with a pinch of salt. So usually the initial round is for screening. It is, usually to test we all have a personality, right? And companies also have personalities, roles also have personalities. For example, there is an analytics manager role, which is a very client facing role. Okay, you are developing products for the client, so a lot of client engagement is required. So maybe they prefer communication skills over other skills, or stakeholder management skills, business knowledge over maybe other skills in that role. Then there could be some roles which do not require you to interact that much with anybody. It's a very company internal role for analytics then your technical skills might gain more prominence. So it totally depends on the kind of role that you have, the culture. Are they looking for someone who even disagrees with the leadership if he or she has a point, or are they looking for someone who is more compliant with the existing procedures? So some companies are very, very procedure. They want people who follow the rules, okay, who follow the book, because processes are set. And some companies are very startup kind, very they may not be startups, but their culture is very agile, always changing, and they welcome innovation, they welcome disruption. So they want a person maybe with a very entrepreneurial mindset. That's possible. Okay, so according to the company and role and JD, you should understand what they are trying to test you for. They will be testing you for the whether you are a right fit in that company, or maybe even in that team or not. Okay, so that would be the initial round. Usually there's I have not faced any technical questions being asked. Next is tasks. Okay, so there would, usually I have seen that companies will ask you to just submit some kind of assignments. So usually I've seen there are three things that they test. SQL, they will test. Okay, so they will give you a query. You can use Stack Overflow for answering that query. So easily, just break down that problem into some sub problems and ask on a Stack Overflow. You will get the answer within like 10-15 minutes. That is if you are not aware of the solution. If you know it, then obviously you don't need anything. Then usually there is a question on some kind of visualization. So they will give you a problem, that this is the data set, and they will have like set of questions. Which region has seen the maximum sales decline? Which category has registered the maximum profit increase? Is this promotion failing or not? So basically you will be required to analyze that data using some kind of a visualization tool. Okay, so they would ask you to present those dashboards, Tableau, Power BI, etc. And then usually there is a third question which is not always there. Very, like, it will not be there in most of the companies, but it can be there in some. So which will test your, let's say, regression skills, okay, using R or Python, etc. So they will give you a very big data set, and they will ask you that clean the data and give me an answer on predict the sales, let's say. So I have seen that most of the times you will spend at least 50% of the time cleaning the data in whatever data you receive, and then only maybe another 50% would be spent in actual model development. In real life, you would be spending 90% of your time or 70% of your time in data cleaning, and 30% alone in the actual modeling. So you don't worry about it. The modeling is very simple. It's basic regression, nothing very fancy. Okay, so they just test you on that, and that's it. Final interview would be based on they will be asking you questions on those tasks. So why did you do this? Why did you not do that? So they will grill you on everything. Okay, so you just be prepared. So why this? Why not this? Okay, so they will ask you multiple things. In SQL, I don't think they ask anything, because SQL is plain easy. Okay, mostly in the dashboard part and the regression part, right? They will ask you questions. Why did you exclude this variable? Let's say you are doing a regression. Okay, so why did you include this variable, whatever. And in dashboard they will say, why did you analyze like this, why not like that, something like that. Okay, then there would be experience related questions. Can be take me through one of your projects. So I was asked to explain this question I have faced in every single company I have interviewed for. So you have to explain end to end about your analytics project, whatever you have done from starting till the end. What was the biggest challenge you faced? So I would say that there are so many challenges. Obviously, that the biggest challenge usually is that the data is never clean. But you can't say that because that you will face anywhere and everywhere. So the you can mention that one of the challenges was that data was not congruous across different systems. So let's say the sales team is saying that there is some X data, and planning team is saying there is some Y data, marketing team is saying that according to me it should be Z data, whatever. So the three databases that we have, they do not have the same data. So that is the biggest challenge usually I have faced across different companies that I've worked for. And what if you had to deal with multiple deadlines? So multiple deadlines, see, they will always be there. Okay, so you should know what are the soft deliverables, what are the hard deliverables. So you cannot compromise on the hard deliverables. Then you have to delegate, automate the not so important stuff. Okay, that's very important. If you have to do more, then you will have to do both these things. Then you should also understand what is good to have, what is must have, which is again soft and hard deliverables. Then you can, because it has to be sustainable. Okay, if it's not sustainable way of working, then it will be very difficult in the long run. So you have to do something about it, something about multitasking. So this is very critical, and you should know what you can deliver, and accordingly you should commit, so that if you don't have the bandwidth, then somebody else can do it. So like that. So this is the way you deal with multiple deadlines. Then you want to ask me any question? This is the very common question that is asked by every company. So you should, I think, go through the company website, go through company app. Then there will be, if you ask something which is already in FAQ, then that will not. Company is looking for questions for which answers are not available on their website, etc. So you should, prepare in advance what are the questions you're going to ask, and accordingly should have. Hope you enjoyed this video, and please let me know your feedback.